You know me, I'm super extra, but this is to keep everybody safe, organized, efficient, and most importantly, out of here on time. So when we pick up dissection equipment, make sure you come down this way. Eventually I'll take the little arrows out and you come on over. First thing you do is you pick up one of these and then make sure that you know what you're picking up before you come up here. So whether it's a scalpel, whether it's a needle, whether it's tweezers or scissors, please do not come up here and pick everything up. If I see you just picking everything up, I'm gonna send you to the back, politely ask you to go reread the lab or have your protocol person reread it to you. So let's just say today, if we're only using scalpel and needle, pick them up, put them in your tray, get your tray, and then head out the other way. Notice I'm not heading down that way because people are behind me. This keeps flow of traffic nice and easy. When you're done with the dissection, basically same procedure, you come back over. It's kind of like reverse order. You can put your tray away, get your tools, put them back, and then exit out this way so you're not bumping into somebody right behind you. Also, when you put the tools away, I know it seems, again, super extra, but like, why wouldn't I just put it like that? I need you to get into the habit of putting it so they're facing, sharp objects are facing that way. Listen, most of us are right-handed, so when we go to pick something up, I want us to be picking up the handle, okay? Especially with scalpels, I want us to be picking up handles with our right hand. If somebody puts this backwards and the sharp edge is like hidden underneath and somebody comes in and accidentally stabs their finger, it's not gonna be great. So if we're always facing that way, right-handed people can come in. If you're a lefty, listen, if you're a lefty, you do have to be careful. So just understand that all the sharp parts are over there. So if lefties, again, you just make sure you're way on this side. It's gonna be a little odd picking it up if you're a lefty. So here are our gloves. Dissectors, you'll pick up gloves while someone else is picking up equipment. You want gloves that fit snug, okay, but not cutting off your circulation. And you don't want it to be like super wrinkly with like a lot of folds. One of the most uncommon sizes, but if you have really small hands, are going to be back over here, which are our extra smalls. Those are kind of hard to find. Again, if a glove is too loose fitting, then switch over to a different one. Also over here are hair ties. So no long hair in the lab. The last thing you want is any of this dissection fluid on your hair. So pick up a hair tie. And once you're done with it, keep it. I got a bunch of extras. Somebody donated them. Over here at the first lab bench, you'll find dissection pins. There's 10 of them. Make sure you count them. If you're missing one, let me know. It's easier to find them at the beginning of a lab than during the middle of a lab. All right, so here's our dissection tray. Yes, I know everybody wants to make happy faces on it, but please don't. Or they want to take the scalpel and start like slicing it up. Listen, if you want to do that, I got spare blue things. You can come in and have at it. Make all the happy faces and slices you want. But just don't do it on these. So for dissection pins, the hardest part is when you pin, don't pin straight down. Okay? Dissection pins, what you're going to want to do is you want to pin things, and I'll show you in a different video. You're going to want to pin at a 45-degree angle. So, if you're coming in, and normally I would do this with my other hand. I would never, just because I only got one hand right now. Also, you want to push it down until you feel it scratching the bottom. So you'll feel it hit the bottom of the pan. If you don't, it's going to be really wobbly, and I'll show you why we put them at 45-degree angles. So again, you want to push it in. Okay. So notice when I tap it, it doesn't wiggle very much. Okay. It's going to stay in place versus something like this where you don't put it at the bottom and you tap like this is what you don't want. Okay, so something that doesn't move very much versus this, it's wobbling all over the place. Okay, and part of the reason why you want to do it at a 45-degree angle and not, so I'll show you what happens when you start doing it straight down. When you look at your earthworm or whatever you're pinning, you want the pins to be out of the way. When you're like this and you're trying to point at something, these get in your way, which is why, like I said, pin at 45-degree angles so you can point things out with your pin pretty easily, versus this where you're kind of having to like navigate through all this like hurdles. Listen, one of the other really important things is never carry around one of these tools just in your hand and walk around the room with it. Nobody wants to hurt anyone, but accidents happen, and to prevent that, always walk around with your tools inside of the dissection tool tray. You know, if you come over and you pick up a scalpel and maybe you're just not paying attention, and you turn around and there's somebody there and you bump into each other, this is going to go into them. Or if you're walking and you trip and you awkwardly drop this thing will go right through your pants for the most part. It's extremely sharp. So never, ever, ever, ever carry this around. It's one of the things that, like I said, I'm a stickler on, is do not carry tools in your hand. There's almost always extra holders up here. I would rather you just put it in, take the extra holder, or go get your own, and come pick the tool so we don't end up hurting anyone.